Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Paranormal News. Today's article comes from BBC.com, and the headline is Edinburgh Company Creates Electricity from Gravity. It was written by Douglas Fraser and published October 22nd of 2019. An Edinburgh company is harnessing a simple idea to crack an important energy challenge using the principle of the winding mechanism on an old clock. It can be used around the world, where old mine shafts are available, some of the deepest in South Africa. What goes up must come down, and a vague memory of school physics reminds me that an object that has yet to come down has potential energy in it. Drop it and it becomes kinetic energy. That's the essence of pump storage and hydro projects. On a steep drop between two reservoirs, use excess power at night to pump water uphill, then release it downhill when you need it. When the nation's kettles are switched on at halftime in a big football match, these sluices are opened, water hits the turbines, and power is delivered within very few seconds. It's much faster and greener than firing up a gas boiler. Winding gear. Norway's geography has blessed it with a lot of pump storage. The UK's much less so. There are a few big projects, such as Cruachan and a couple of sites, including one at the planning stage north of Dumfries, which could be developed. But with only a few possible sites and daunting cost when you develop one, a much cheaper application of the same very simple physics is being developed by an Edinburgh company. Unlike so many incomprehensible techie startups, it has chosen a name that describes precisely what it does. Gravitricity, generating electricity from gravity, is getting noticed by investors as an effective alternative to large batteries, so that renewable energy supply can be stored until there is demand. No need to go to the Congolese jungle to get a hold of raw materials for batteries. All you need is a lot of concrete, some very strong cables, and a winding gear. I simplify a bit. The power also has to be harnessed by turbines and then connected to the grid, and you have to build high towers or find deep holes in the ground. Gravitricity wants to start with such a tower in Edinburgh to prove the concept, but it then wants to use mines which are closing or recently closed to make use of their deep shafts. The company is in discussions with mine owners in the UK, South Africa, Finland, Poland, and the Czech Republic. The average European mine shaft is 800 meters. In South Africa, it is more than 2,000 meters. Blue whales. The scale of the ambition is really quite large. The company reckons on using 24 weights totaling 12,000 tons, stacked in a mine shaft. Depending on demand, they could be released one at a time or in combination, and at different speeds, depending on what is required. This apparatus, it is pointed out, has the same weight as 84 blue whales. While area is compared with football pitches, or the size of whales, and height with double-deck buses. The comparison with blue whale weight is lost on me, not least because they are rarely seen and unimaginably large, but I digress. At that scale, the company claims the output from one average mine shaft could power 63,000 homes for an hour. The weights could then be recharged when demand is lower, and you do it all over again, without any degradation of capacity. A UK government agency, Innovate UK, has just pumped a £640,000 grant into the idea. This week, analysts at Imperial College, London, predicted that the idea offered a much cheaper form of storage than batteries or other alternatives. An industrial-scale lithium-ion battery is seen as costing £442, $532 per megawatt hour, in an investment and charging cost. Air compression is cheaper at £239 or $310, but a lump of concrete in a mine shaft comes in at £132 or $171 for the same shaving or gradual release of energy. The plan is for a working prototype to be operational by 2022. One thought though, if it's as simple a concept as it sounds, it will take a smart lawyer to ensure the intellectual property is protected. And that is the end of this article. So this is a cool little idea, man. Basically, they're just taking big ass pieces of concrete and dropping them down a hole and using that kinetic energy to create electricity. Very, very interesting. I'm not one of those green energy kind of people that say that gas is bad and oil is bad and all that. But what I am is somebody who is for every single possible form of energy. Oil, gas, awesome. Works great. Coal works great. Solar, wind, hydro, nuclear, any damn thing you can think of that will create energy, I'm all for it as long as it's safe. Now, of all those I mentioned, nuclear probably gets the worst rap out of all of them. Nuclear energy is actually a very safe form of energy. The problem is when it's not safe, it's really not safe. So when it screws up, it fails massively, and there's major, major issues because of it. But I'm for everything, dude. Every single possible form of energy you can create, I'm all for it. Do it. I'm not going to say don't do a solar farm or don't do a wind farm because I think it's a hippie thing or whatever. I'm all for it, man. The more energy, the better. Our world is powered and ran off of energy, not just electricity, but also oil and gas for combustion engines, for shipping, for all those things. So any extra energy that's added to the grid, I think is great. So I think this is a very cool idea. I think if they make it work, then that's even better, man. That's awesome. Because it is a renewable and it is a clean method of producing energy. And I don't see why anybody would be against that unless they have a vested financial interest in there only being one type of energy. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, this episode, and let me know down in the comments what you think of it. It's kind of an easy, cool idea, isn't it? There's not a whole lot to it. And sometimes the simplest ideas are the best ideas. So as I said, let me know down in the comments. As always, it's up to you to decide, and I will catch you on the next one. Until I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.